But then, you know that even our entertainment and our music self know they go on. Today you can't compare our musicians to Burna Boy or Ira Star or whatever. At least Nigeria is at least Nigeria when it comes to entertainment, music and entertainment. At least they are up there. They are improving. Look at their movies, for example. They are improving. We want our movies, no, they improve self. We are not improving in our movies. You get it? We are not improving in our own movies. You get me? We are not improving. Our movies, now. Do you even have a movie now? So do you even have a movie industry? Like, I want to ask, do you have a movie industry? Because the movie industry is so it has collapsed. But then you look at Nigeria, for example, you realize that actually they go on. So everything is down. Everything has been degraded. So has football degraded as we discussed? Just, you know what, just go into the comment section and give me your own opinion on that. You know, just give me your opinion. I want to understand your opinion. This is media. This is journalism. Journalism is about we journalists giving society the opportunity to also bring their ideas, to also give their opinion, their views. And I'm giving the opportunity to give your opinion and view. Just go into the comment section and tell us, do you think football, not Ghanaian football in general, you can base your argument on Ghana? Like, but do you think football itself has degraded? Just give me your, you know, because as I said, it has. I agree with the argument you had last week. It has degraded a lot. It has very much, very much. It has degraded. I mean, it has degraded. You get me? But the difference between them and us is that even though the game of play has degraded, the performance has degraded, but any other thing has improved. Any other thing has improved. But as everything in general has gone down. Everything in general has gone down. And apart from that, I think you should be able to give us a solution to it. So just give me your solutions to what do you think we can do as Ghanaians to be able to solve these issues. To be able to, you know what, improve our football, to improve our sports. Even improve the mind, the thinking, the ideology, everything. Put that in the comment section because it's all part of sports. Alright, so let's start with the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Europa League, and the UEFA Europa Conference League. So last week, as you may know it, Arsenal did unthinkable. Arsenal has been to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League, and I'm hoping they will be able to win it so that argument will be like, Charlie, Arsenal there, then do this, Arsenal then do this, Arsenal then do this, there, that thing for sure. Like, Arsenal if you win Champions League, then Chelsea fan take advantage, they take the true Arsenal all the time now. So, in the quarterfinals, it was Dortmund 3, FC Barcelona 1. Barca 1 on aggregate, 5-3 on aggregate. Aston Villa 3, Paris Saint-Germain 2, 5-4 on aggregate. So PSG has made it through to the next round of the competition. Inter Milan 2, FC Bayern Munich 2. So 4-3 on aggregate, Inter is through. Then Real Madrid 1, Arsenal 2. It was 5-1 on aggregate. Okay, so let me start with the Champions League. So the semi-finals is Arsenal versus Paris Saint-Germain and FC Barcelona versus Inter Milan. So the first league is at the Emirates, and the second league will be in Paris at the Parc des Princes. The first league will be in Barcelona, and then the second league will be in Milan. Right. So let's talk. Let me go through a little bit about the quarterfinals. Then we'll talk about the semis. Right. So my prediction went right. I knew Barca was going to go through. Even before the first league, I knew Barca was going to go through because I knew they had better players, they had a better team, they had a better manager than Dortmund. But I think Dortmund did well in the second league. I think Sekou Guirassy, he scored a hat-trick. But then, I think Barca didn't really take the game serious like that. I think they knew they would qualify. So they didn't really put their energy into it. Because if you look at the last two La Liga games, you can see that they're putting all the energy in the La Liga games to be able to win the La Liga too. You feel me? Yeah, and they also have the finals of the Copa del Rey plus Real Madrid. So I feel like they didn't really put this game into very, very much consideration. Yeah, the most important thing was to try and get a goal or two, and they knew they were going to qualify. And I said it earlier on that even if Dortmund scores 5, Barca will definitely score 2 or 3. And the same way they scored 3 and they also scored 1. it was just pure that they were going to qualify. Even if they lose, they're going to qualify, and they didn't even put so much energy into it. So congratulations to Barca. I think to me they are the favorites to win the Champions League. Then Villa. Now PSG almost threw away this game. I think I didn't watch the full game, but I did watch a bit of the game. I think that day I was in the studios with my producer also, something like that. Yeah. And then the way Villa played the game, they missed some key chances. Morgan Rogers, like they would have won that game easily. Like PSG would have gone out easy. And the match that PSG played at Villa Park, if this is how they are going to play, then it's going to be it's going to be very difficult to beat Arsenal, because the ball that Arsenal played at the Bernabeu, forget about what they played at the Emirates, what they even played at the Bernabeu was very, very good. And if this is how Paris are going to play, there's going to be a long semi-final for them, especially when they are going away first. Arsenal will try and get at least 2 goals without conceding, and they can do that. The way Arsenal plays, they can actually do that. So congratulations to PSG. I think Villa did very well. They did very, very well, but they threw the game away when they went to Paris. It's the end. As I said, the same thing. If you score 5, definitely PSG will score 1 or 2 goals, and that's exactly what happened. Milan and Bayern. Now, at a point in time, I thought Bayern was going to go through. At a point in time, I knew Inter was going to go through. I was confused because I like both. I have a very good soft spot for both teams. But then there again, Inter going through it's not surprising. Inter are very, very good. Especially Barella. I just love the guy. He's absolutely very, very good. Lautaro Martinez. Inter are very, very good. And personally, Bayern is not performing to that satisfactory. Like the way Bayern can perform. That's not how they are performing. And it's not surprising. I was a bit not okay because I want to see Harry Kane win the Champions League. Harry Kane is a top class striker. We talked about him last week on our episode on JAB Sports, and then he's a top class footballer. Everybody knows that. Anybody that watches football knows that Harry Kane is a top class footballer. Even people that don't watch football know he's a top class footballer. I'd allowed him to win the Champions League this season, but then Inter, as I said, they threw the game in Germany. You're at home. You have the advantage being at home. That is where they're supposed to win. And they threw the game, and then Inter. There's no way Inter is going to sit down and lose this game in Milan. Come on, it's going to be difficult here. Then the game of that week was Madrid and Arsenal. And Arsenal did the unthinkable. Arsenal did everything. I knew they were going to qualify, and they did that. All right, so semi-finals again: Arsenal, PSG, Barca, Milan. My prediction is that Arsenal is going to go through. My personal prediction, I don't know how you're going to feel, but my personal prediction is Arsenal is going to go through. And I think Barca is going to also go through against Inter. So I'm expecting Arsenal versus Barca finals. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. I don't know how it will go, but that's what I'm expecting though. You get me? But PSG and Inter are also going to put. They're also a very good team. They can put in a good fight. But I have 9% confidence that Barca is going to go through. You get me? I have 9% confidence. PSG and Arsenal might, but I'm just hoping Arsenal goes through. Yeah. Now let's go to the Europa League. So Atletico Bilbao 2, Rangers 0. Bilbao went through. Frankfurt 0, Tottenham Hotspur 1. Tottenham went through. Lazio 3, Bordeaux Glimt 1. Bordeaux went through on penalty shootout. The Man United 5, Lyon 4. Now that is the game I'm going to stress a bit on, the United and Lyon. But before that, the semi-finals is Tottenham Hotspur versus Bordeaux Glimt. Then Atletico Bilbao versus Manchester United. All right. So I'm not very surprised in seeing Spurs in the semi-finals. Yes, I know they're not doing great in the Premier League this season, but I'm not surprised. I knew they were going to beat. Eintracht Frankfurt, so I'm not surprised seeing Tottenham Hotspur. And you see, there's a high possibility of them getting to the finals. No disrespect to Bordeaux or Glimt, but I think Spurs is going to win. But Bordeaux they've actually surprised. So Bordeaux, I don't think a lot of people even have imagined to see Bordeaux or Glimt over there. And besides, Bordeaux Glimt is just a small city in Norway, a very small city in Norway. And then a Norwegian club in the semi-finals, especially beating a top Italian club like Lazio, is surprising. And then when they won 2-0 in Norway, I knew it was going to be a long way for Lazio. I knew Lazio was going to score goals, but I also knew Bordeaux would be able to score at least a goal, which they did. And then they went to penalty shootout, and Lazio were just spoiling their penalty in here. They just played the penalty. Charlie, they play the ball, they go anywhere. And then Bordeaux went through. So they've done very, very well. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I don't think they will be able to beat Tottenham, but anything can happen in football. But I don't think they will be able to beat Tottenham. Then the game, you see that Man United game, as of full time, I started to go watch the game. I started to go watch. And that, because you know go feed the lead 2-0, then you make Lyon come tier 2-2. Hey! I said, I don't know what they give again. I was then, I got a notification that it's now 4-2. If it's 4-2, that is it. And all of a sudden, United they do come back. I was like, hey! 4-3, 4-4. I said, no, Harry Maguire. I said, hey! You see, United, I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to explain things. It's like they decide when they want to show up. I know the red card, might be part of the reason why they're able to do the comeback. But it's like they decide the time they want to show up. That's how sometimes I feel. And I just can't explain that feeling again. I just can't explain that feeling. It's like they want to is when they show up. You beat Lyon, then you go and lose 2 matches on the row. Like I just can't understand. I don't know how United fans feel, but then I just can't understand them. And it's here, we in Atletico Bilbao, if you don't show up, like the way we did against Lyon, if you don't show up, Bilbao will destroy us, especially the first league for Bilbao. Some Mames, those squares. It's like Macan for you. If you don't show up, Bilbao will defeat us. They will kill the game in the first league. Bilbao is a different team altogether compared to Lyon. If you don't show up for that game, then go score we. We dey like that attitude, you know, go show up. The time we dey like we dey show up. To the Conference League, so Fiorentina 2, Celje 2. Fiorentina went through on aggregate 4-3 aggregate. Then you have Jagiellonia 1, Betis 1. Betis went through 3-1 on aggregate. Chelsea lost by 2-1 to Legia, but they qualified on aggregate 4-2. And Rapid Wien also lost 4-1 to Jagaden. That was for 4-2 on aggregate. Then the semi-finals, we have Betis versus Fiorentina. You have Chelsea versus Jagaden. Now, I know very well that Chelsea, I'm not going to even waste time on Chelsea because I know very well they're going to go through. And you see, I think they won 3-0 in the first league. And then they themselves, just like Barca, they didn't even take the match serious. They didn't actually take the match serious. Because Chelsea are trying to fight for they win the Conference League, it takes them to the Europa League. And they are trying to get to the Champions League. So there's more focus in the top 5 positions. Because remember, this season 5 teams will qualify to the Champions League from England. So they were focusing on it. Just like Barca, they didn't put a real focus on it. And as I said, just like Barca, even if you score them 5, they will score 3. And the team scored 2, they scored 1. So it was just so obvious Chelsea were going to go through. And I knew Fiorentina were also going to go through. It was just so obvious. Same as Real Betis. Betis also killed the game in the first league. 2-0. It was so obvious they were going to go through, and exactly that happened. So the game that surprised me a bit was Rapid Wien. To lose 4-1 at home. To lose 4-1 at home is quick. But they won 1-0 away. And if you can go away to Sweden and win 1-0 and come and lose 4-1 at home, dear Charlie, it's crazy. So that was the game that actually, but then there again, I think that's the right teams that qualified, and I'm hoping. I feel the finals will be between Chelsea and Betis. I think Betis is slightly better than Fiorentina, but if Fiorentina also shows up, they can actually beat Betis though. But I think it will be Chelsea and Betis. That's my own personal prediction. Chelsea versus Betis, right? So that is it for the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Europa League, and the UEFA Conference League. Now, finally, has the championship lost its factor compared to the Premier League we discussed? Now, I'm not going to take. I think I have some limited time, so I'm not going to discuss a lot. I just want to brush through something a bit, and the rest I'm going to throw the rest of the questions to you, for you to give me your own opinion on that. Now, how's the Championship lost its factor compared to the Premier League? Now, remember last season we had 3 teams that qualified from the Championship back to the Premier League. We had Leicester City, we had Southampton, and then we had Ipswich Town. So far, Leicester and Southampton are relegated back to the Championship. Ipswich will definitely get relegated back to the Championship. They can't dodge it, especially when Wolves defeated United. They can't dodge that one. There, everybody knows they can't dodge. Now the question here is that the question I have for you all is that if you look at the quality of the Championship compared to the quality of the Premier League, is there a vast difference? I want you to put your idea or your opinion in our comment section. Facebook, you can put it on Facebook. You can also put it on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. Just put it over there. Do you think the quality difference is wide? Because if you look at the Premiership, for example, look at Wolverhampton, look at Brentford, you look at Fulham, West Ham, you look at all these clubs. Look at all the clubs, even Manchester United and Tottenham, because today they are battling relegation. So you look at all these clubs and you compare them to the Championship. Is there a wide gap between them? I feel it is, because anytime a Championship club, the only team that came from the Championship that has been stabled is Brentford, Brighton, West Ham, then let's say Fulham. Apart from those seasons, any team that will come will get relegated. Burnley will come and go back. Sheffield United will come and go back. Leeds United will come and go back. The season Leeds went, they went together with Sheffield and Burnley. All the 3 teams that came, all those 3 teams went back. 3 new teams have come. All of them are going back. Now, 3 new teams will come back. So far, Leeds and Sheffield United, Leeds and Burnley have been confirmed. The 3rd team will join. We are yet to see during the playoffs. We'll get to know which team will be the 3rd team to join. It can be Coventry. It can be Sunderland. We will see which 3rd team will join. But there's a high possibility that these 3 teams that will join, that same 3 teams will go back. And that is why I always praise Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest came and they almost got relegated, and they fought and then they escaped relegation. And this season they are going to the Champions League. It's about the right investments. If you invest, the thing is that you have to invest in players that have the quality to play the Premier League. They have the quality to play Premier League football. It's like if you look at La Liga, to the same thing. The teams where they come, the same teams where they go back. If you look at French League 1, the same thing. German Bundesliga, the same thing. So what is going on? You see, I remember that's the season when Forest they buy players. A lot of people are like, Charlie, Forest they waste money on players, all social media. But they look at Forest. You get me? So it's the right investment. But you see, Burnley then let me take Burnley for example. The only team that has the money to be able to invest in the right players, before even I mention the right players, that will be able to invest in players. Somebody like Leicester. Leicester had the opportunity to do that, but they didn't invest in the right players. You get it? They didn't invest in the right players at all, and that's why they are going back to relegation. They are going back to the championships. They didn't invest in the right players at all. Look at Leeds, for example. Leeds more or less has some very good players, like Rafinha, for example. They sold Rafinha to Barcelona. Rafinha is a top-class footballer. I won't be surprised if he wins the Ballon d'Or. Top-class footballer. The question is, what did they use the money for? The money they got from Barcelona. The question, what did they use the money for? And they coming back to the Premier League, they'll be given a lot of money. What are they going to use that money for? It's not about buying players who. It's about buying players that can keep you in the Premier League. Like the way Nottingham Forest bought Hudson-Odoi. Odoi, he played Chelsea. So So he knows how to play the Premier League football. You look at Elanga. Elanga play United. He can play the Premier League. It's about getting you players that have the heart to play in the Premier League, or getting players that have played in the La Liga. They have played La Liga. They will be able to keep you consistent in the league. But if you go sign some Banku players, then you go back the next season. You go back. Every team will take you farm. You will definitely go back to the Championship. And that is what is going on. That the Championship teams can't compete with Premier League teams. It's as simple as that. It's like the bottom half of La Liga. The teams there, the likes of Valencia, Sevilla, they can't compete with the likes of Bilbao, the likes of Barca, Madrid, Atletico, etc. Girona, if you look at Girona for example, Girona were able to, when they got good players, didn't they qualify to the Champions? They finished third also, and they qualified to the Championship, to the Champions League. This season Champions League, and they flopped. Why did they flop? Because the players that they invested, they sold all those players. And the question I'm asking you again is that what did they use the money for? We don't know. The thing is that if you sell, then you use that money to buy quality players again, then you sell. But if you sell and you pocket the money, or use the money for a different thing, or use the money and you don't buy players that are as quality as the players you sold, they forget. You look at Girona, then they're like 14th or so. It's the same way with the Championship. And Burnley, I know very well that Burnley will still go back to the Championship next season because they can't compete. The only team that can compete a bit is Leeds. And that is, you see, competing is different from buying the right players. So you can spend money. It's like today, I get money, I go spend money, but it's about spending the money on the right thing. So Leeds can compete. But the question is, can they compete in buying the right players that will fit into their system? That is the question mark. Burnley can't do that. That's what I'm saying. Burnley will still go back to relegation. It's like bet for a year. And if you look at the four teams that will go for the playoffs, the only team that can compete is probably Coventry and Sunderland. And then to the question is, can Sunderland compete by buying the right players? That is the question. So today, the question I'm giving to you today is that the gap between the Premiership and the Championship, how wide is that gap? And number two, what's your opinion as Burnley and Leeds are back in the Premier League? What is your personal? Do you think they're going to remain in the league? Do you think they're going to get relegated? Share your opinion in our comment section. Next week, I'll go through it. So that will be it for today on sports. That will be it today for sports, JAB Sports on JAB Media TV. My name is Adisa Mohammed. You can call me Shoelace. You can call me Aminu. Before I leave, I'd like you guys to subscribe. Subscribe to our YouTube page at JAB Media TV. Follow us on all our social media platforms at JAB Media TV. Personally, myself, follow me on Instagram at I.am_Amin. Follow me on Facebook at Mr. Amin. Snapchat at Mr. Amin. Twitter at Mr. Amin. And then, I'd like to acknowledge my sponsors, EF Metalwork. Anything that has to do with metalwork, just contact them. Just go on their Facebook page, type EF Metalwork and contact them. Anything that has to do with metalwork, they're going to do it for you. Glory Foods. Any food you want to eat, if you want to have lunch, you want to have supper, just go to Glory Foods. There are snacks there. If you want to enjoy only snacks and drinks, go there. They will serve you very well. Glory Foods, just close to the roundabout at UPSC, like you're heading towards East Legon. Just go there, and then I'll just put it on both food. Glory Foods, you can order from there. Nurturing the American Dream by Frank A.J. Mensah. This is the book. This book talks about success, how you can be able to gain success in Ghana without you traveling to abroad. Just go onto our social media platform, just contact us, and we'll get you a copy of this book. We'll give you the details when you send us the text message, how much the book costs and everything. We'll give you all the updates. Then finally is Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries. Anything that has to do with high quality cosmetics, high quality jewelry, stunning jewelries, unbeatable price, expert advice. Contact Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries. Just go on Facebook or social media, just type Dell Cosmetics and Jewelries and just contact them. Remember, when you purchase your first purchase, just use Chat Media at the checkout. They're going to give you a 10% off on your first purchase. So don't forget it. Dell Cosmetics and jewelries. Dell Cosmetics and jewelries. Anything that has to do with jewelries and cosmetics, just go there. Foundation, eyeshadow, lipstick, anything from top brands, just go there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have a friend who wasn't able to watch, just tell the person, make you go YouTube or make you go Facebook, then go watch. You understand? We are here to give you stories about sports, to try and enlighten ourselves, to try and, put our leaders on their toes for them to develop our football, because football is what keeps us entertained in this country. You feel me? Football is what is taking us to another level. It's what is keeping all of us energized. So if our football not to go out there, if we come and then address it, and that's exactly what we are doing. We'll have the discussion, we'll have the local discussion, we'll also have the foreign or international discussion. If the topic has to do with both local and international, we'll address it. So thank you for your support. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week.